course. And we're live at Zine Club. So do we maybe want to do some introductions before we jump into the whole thing?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Cool.
Do you want to go to the cute welcome slide?
Yes. There we go. So this event is brought to you by the UCSB Library and the fabulous folks at the RCSGD Center. We are super stoked to keep this collabo running even in these weird times. So the idea behind Zine Making Club is to create a space for folks to figure out what kind of art they're into, what kind of creative work you want to do, and for us to be able to share that with each other. Now seems like a good time to be, who are you? What's your major? What's your deal? And an interesting fact about you. Do we have like a better?
Oh God, that sounds good. Do you want to go first?
Sure. I'm Des Alamis. My pronouns are they, them. I am a teaching and learning librarian at the UCSB Library. And I have the lovely fortune of working with Paige on all zine activities at the library. My interesting fact is I love pro wrestling.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. So my name's Paige. My pronouns are she, her. I am also a librarian at UCSB Library, also a teaching and learning librarian. When we are not virtually working, Des and I work about this close to each other. That's our hallway space. So yeah, like they said, all things zines kind of go through us in the library. So we're really excited to be able to do this online and continue some of this community. I don't have a major. My interesting fact about me is, I was homeschooled from K through 12.
Oh, cool. Hello, friends. My name is Adrian. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm the education coordinator at the Resource Center for Sexual and Gender Diversity. I am not a zine specialist. However, I did do, like in high school, I like discovered what zines were and stuff like that. And I was like, whoa, this is so cool. And have kind of like taken on some zine projects like throughout my time at UCSB, which has been really fun. And then I guess, I'm a sociology major and I will be graduating soon. That's the plan.
Yay.
And then a fun fact about me is, I used to have a good one, but I don't remember. I've been pierced like maybe like 20 times, which is pretty fun.
Word up.
Yeah. But yeah, that's I guess that's it. I don't know. People usually tend to ask, they're like, what was your weirdest piercing? And I usually say, I had my tongue pierced like horizontally, and that was pretty weird for a moment.
Yo, that's no joke.
Yeah, and I was like 14 when I did that too. So it's like,
oh my God.
Yeah, I was going off. But yeah, that's it.
Word up. Let's take a second so that Jordan can join in.
CCS.
Word up. Yeah. Awesome that you are here.
Nice.
Were you in Michelle's class? Word. Yo, how did you like that zine project y'all were working on? Word up. A very common feeling. Word up. That's dope. there are many ways too to be artsy. It took me a while when I first started like reading things and stuff. I was like, shocked Pikachu. I was like, everyone else is so creative and stuff, not me. And then I was like, oh, cut and paste counts. I can just put images on top of each other. Word.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, realizing that collage is such a big part of zine making, or at least my zine making. I'm like, yes, I can do this.
Yeah. And I feel like that's something too, is everyone's zine making looks a little different. It's like really cool to be able to pick up my friend's zines and be like, this was definitely made by Dawn or whoever.
That's really cool.
Yes. So then everybody here, I'm going to move to the next slide. Thank you everyone for introducing yourselves. So the goal of this Zine Making Club today is to get back into the swing of things and cover specifically how the sort of next phase of Zine Club is going to work. So we're going to be talking about how to contribute to this collaborative zine. We're going to talk about tools to help you make e-zine pages or make like digital zine pages. We're also going to talk about taking how to take good photos and some tools for taking photos of your physical pages. And the other awesome thing that we're going to review is RCSGD has been super dope and is going to be mailing out zine supply kits to folks who would like physical zine kits. So if that's something you're interested in, we got links for you. And then we also have some resources that are also on the RCSGD site covering where to find like digital zine collections online, so read or just get inspired. Cool. So what's a zine? I feel like we're all familiar with zines in this group, but let's review real quickly. So some types of zines are perzines or personal narrative zines. These are like pretty awesome, but also kind of hard to write, and they're not for everyone. Collaborative zines are what we're going to be doing for Quaranzine. So we're going to be, we'll cover the sort of logistics for Quaranzine in a moment. But they can be about anything. They are do-it-yourself, and they are created out of love, as all the finest things are. So, Quaranzine. Now that we have all this time and inspiration on our hands, because we're gonna be accepting zine pages with the general sort of theme of Quaranzine. You know, what has this time been like for you? What are things that you're enjoying about this time? It's really kind of an open starting point for making zine pages. But the steps to actually submitting to it will be step 1, decide if you will make your zine online or on paper. Step 2, make it yours, make it beautiful. And then all submissions are going to be submitted through a forum on the RCSGD's website. So
do we have, I don't think we talked about this, but do we have a specific document type that we would prefer?
I think PDF or an image file would be easiest for us to do formatting. And basically what's going to happen, this is actually good, what's going to happen once you submit your zine is that Paige and I are going to work to assemble the zine into a like e-reader type of format, and then the link will be made available and the content will be made available on the RCSGD site. Yeah. So that's why the file type is important. So like, we're not going to get mad if you send us a Word doc, but we might have questions about formatting it. Okay.
Looks like we have a new person here too.
Welcome. Oh, I'm going to go back then. Sick. Welcome, Ash. So we were just giving a quick little overview about how the actual zine pages that come out of Zine Making Club are going to be created, are going to be formatted into a e-reader friendly format. Words are like not good today for me. Wow, Monday.
And we have, we have examples of at least 2 of our past Zine Club zines available that you can kind of see what that final product will look like on RCSGD's website as well. So that same link. Look at this.
So this is from, oh, this is awesome. So this is from the January 2020 issue number 2. And these are pages that folks made during that zine club. And the general theme for our zine clubs in the past has been art and activism. But again, we're accepting submissions on a range of topics, whatever inspires you.
Cute.
So if you're looking for inspo, these files are hosted on the RCSGD website here. So this is under Zine Making Club. Cool. I'm going to move. Okay. Paige, I feel like you have more experience using these tools than I do. I would definitely highly recommend Canva for folks who haven't used it before. Adrian's like, yes.
Yeah, for folks who haven't used Canva before, you can make an account, and it's a free account, and you get pretty much everything that you would. The other account is like a pro account that you have to pay for. I think the main difference between a unpaid versus pro account is there's some images that that you can't use unless you pay for them like individually. But they have so many images, and then you can also just dump your own in there too. So that's really nice. And this might be something, I think there's something Des and I talked about doing as a kind of supplement to this too, was just like a quick video of like, this is like how you might make your dimensions for a single half page, like zine page. And so then you can add text or images or whatever, layer a bunch of stuff on top of each other in Canva. If you don't want to go through the hassle of trying a new tool, you are more familiar with like Google tools, Google Drawings, which is like it says in the slides, available in it's like one of the Google apps. That also is really easy to use. You can change the dimensions of each individual page. So then you know that you're always working within the confines of like either a half size or like, what am I saying? Yeah, like a half size sheet of paper. And there was something else I was going to say. The only thing with Google Drawings is if you are going to make like multiple pages, or you want to have all of your pages in like one tab, basically, Google Drawings only allows you to have one drawing per tab, if that makes sense. Like you can't put them all together. While with Canva, you can add multiple pages and tabs with each other. So those are both like the two main like digital tools that I use a lot of times for when I am making zines for classes. I find that because those zines are usually just more informational, so there is a lot more text and then just like big sections of space for people to take notes. But then it's just easier for me to print a whole bunch, and then I don't have to worry about if folks can't read my handwriting. I haven't used Glimpse or Scribus. Is that how you say it? Scribus?
Yeah.
But they're open source, so that sounds dope to me. Have you used either of those, Des?
I have not. I only recently started looking at Scribus, and it looks like it's set up for like primarily text type stuff, so it might be a good option for like text formatting, especially. But yeah, I would definitely second Canva. Adrian, do you have any tips or tricks for Canva?
I don't have any personal tips and tricks for Canva, but it's like super easy. Like definitely one of the easiest like platforms that I've ever used on just like digital creation and stuff like that. Yeah, it's super user friendly, and like Paige had said earlier, like the separation between like pro and like unpaid is like not too wild. So it's definitely like worth it and checking it out for sure.
Yes, I think like if you use any like social media app or anything like that, you should be able to learn Canva pretty quickly. And I believe they have an app as well that is like super powerful. And so if you just do it on your phone, you can do that as well. So yeah, those are options that we have if you want to make your zine from start to finish online. However, another thing you could do too is if you want to paste a bunch of stuff on a piece of paper and then upload like a picture of that, or if you have a scanner, a scanned image of it, then you could also upload that scanned image into Google Drawings and add more stuff on top of it as well. Something I was just thinking about too, Des, is we should add some links to some of the like free icons and stuff like Noun Project.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, Noun Project is this like super dope like platform for all these different kinds of icons for stuff. So if you're looking for like 7 different types of like kind of minimalist like thinky face, Noun Project has got you. But Word, that's a great idea, Paige.
Does anybody have any questions about any of these online editors or have suggestions for other editors you've used in the past?
Okay. Well, if you think about it, we want to know. Well, this is an incomplete list.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you used that Adobe Scan app, Paige?
I haven't used that one specifically. So I have Adobe Creative Cloud now, so I think I would be able to use it, and it's like, it would be free because I have it's all like within that package. However, that was one of the only apps that I saw when I was digging a little bit more that was actually like a free version of like scanning an image on your phone, and that was specifically iPhone. I didn't get very far into it because all of these apps said they were free, and then I downloaded them, and then it wasn't really free.
Live.
And it was annoying. However, if you do, I know at least if you have an iPhone, you can use your Notes app and scan a picture in your Notes app. And it's a pretty nice image. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So I think the next slide is if you go the physical route, pretty much anything goes for your physical pages. And as mentioned previously, there is an option to request a zine kit from the RCSGD, which will be mailed to your home because those folks are amazing. So you can find that information. These slides will be shared with folks afterwards. You can also find this info on the RCSGD website. But it's just a pretty simple, straightforward form. And that'll include several of the items on this list. Maybe not a staple, but.
And there's like so much inspiration anywhere, like, I mean, from Instagram to, I use Pinterest a lot, like so many zine sites like post their stuff on Pinterest, and and I go like, I mean, I think if you know like what kind of art you like to do, or if you want to see like different types of like watercolor like illustrations and stuff, just even searching that on Pinterest is like really awesome. I've only been using it a little bit more recently, so my feed is actually now like more curated to what I want. So every time I go on, I'm like, oh my god, Pinterest, you know me.
She do.
Maybe that's the one thing bringing me joy in quarantine.
Pinterest curation algorithms.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time before I really got into Pinterest.
Yeah, word. Cool. So let's see, what's next? I love this slide so much.
Oh yeah, so I made this in Canva. All these images are free. And I was like, look, some gay kids and a cat, what else? What else can
And plants.
Yeah, and plants, I
Additional
know.
plant mention.
Yeah.
Yes, so actually this is, so we're going to be publishing issues of this zine on an ongoing basis. So that means you can submit your pages when they're ready. And what's going to happen is our next deadline for publication is going to be June 15th. So that means all submissions received before June 15th will be formatted and included in the issue number 4 we're up to now of the Zine Making Club Quaranzine. Do folks have any questions about that or like how to submit? Because we're about to open this up for questions and more. Cool. Okay, so let's see. What's next? Yes, so this is not the only zine making club. So today is just kind of like an introduction to how this quarantine thing is gonna work. And then we can also spend some time like brainstorming our pages. But the next zine club is going to be a space just to kind of like sit and get together like we're doing now. There won't be a presentation component, but we'll be able to work on pages together. So that's gonna be 2 weeks from today on May 18th from 6 to 7 p.m. And I just said this stuff, but submissions will be accepted on a rolling basis. Yes. So these are actually cool. These are some examples that are in the, some examples of physical zines that are in the special research collections at the UCSB Library. So we do have some zines in the special research collections already. And some of the cool things about this is like, these are super tiny little zines. These are like 1/8 the size of a normal, like 8.5 by 11 page. And it's just one piece of paper folded up on itself, which is a really effective way of making a tiny zine. And then these also are mini zines, but you can see that folks actually were like stitching the binding together, which is definitely something you can do. And there's a lot of different types of stitches that you can use for that. Adrian, you might be able to help us a little more with that. But yeah, so these are just some examples that like once we're all back on campus, you can go visit in the special research collections. Yes, and the actual physical, yeah, one day. This is a list of a small portion of the websites that are available that host like free digital zines. There's a lot of really good resources here. A lot of these are like free in principle. The Queer Zine Archive project is super dope and focuses on queer zines specifically, created in like the 80s, 90s, and up to now. There's actually a zine in the Queer Zine Archive that was created by students at UCSB, which is pretty sick. And I think that was like back in like 20 something. Anyways, so again, we will be some of these digital zine collections are also listed on the RCSGD website as well. So I encourage folks to go there and check them out for inspo or just for fun. And now it's your turn to ask us questions, to brainstorm ideas for zine pages.
One thing that I've been thinking about recently is like, you know, knowing that like Zine Club was going to be coming and stuff, I've been really paying attention to like trash and like what is like going on around my house and stuff like that. And like, I think of like, you know, those little like bags that like fruit come in, that's like that really cool netting, like, you know, things like that, like thinking of all these different materials. But like, I think for me, I have crafting materials because that's just like the person that I am. But I think like the more that I look to like other things that are around me, I think is like something that's one, inspiring me, but then two, also like giving me more like materials to even like create. So I think that that's like really cool. And I just kind of wanted to like throw that out to the friends here, just to like, yeah, keep in mind, right? Like it's not necessarily just like, you know, what's that called? The paper, construction paper,
Word.
and things like that, you know. But Even though, yeah, I've seen some pretty cool construction paper as well.
Word up, that's like an awesome thought and suggestion, especially thinking about like, that's very zine of you to be like, what's around me? Like, what does this like invoke in me? Like, how do I use this to turn it into something else, you know? That's awesome.
Yeah, I definitely have a few like individual like notes pages in my phone of just like, oh, here's an idea of something that I could do, and I have like a long list of them, but then when like just something comes to me, it's like, oh, okay, I guess this is where I'm going now.
Yeah, this is the one.
Oh, cool. Ash says that they're looking at Canva now.
Awesome.
Yeah, and feel free to let any of us know if you have questions. Like I was saying earlier, Canva is my passion, and so like I would love to talk to anybody about Canva and just kind of troubleshooting some of this stuff. But like Adrienne was saying earlier, it's thankfully very intuitive.
Yeah.
Adrienne, are you going to make a zine about trash or made out of trash?
That would be really cool. I mean, I'm really trying to think, yeah, of like what kind of stuff. And I think like for me, what gets me, like, I feel like it's hard to think about and plan like a zine page for me. I tend to like just like sit down and then it just kind of like happens.
Yeah.
But I think like the more that I'm like, I mean, because I'm surrounded by all these things like all day now. And so it's like, yeah, I feel like I could probably incorporate a lot of stuff into what we're doing.
This reminds me of like a Project Runway like episode. It's like, okay, make your outfit out of just all this trash, and I'm like, okay,
to trash and washi tape. I would love that.
Yes.
It'd be pretty cute. I think we could make it cute.
Word. Okay, one thing that I was thinking about like doing a page on is like top 10 things I've learned about myself in quarantine isolation. Getting like dragged to shit by Chani Nicholas, astrologer to the stars, like every week. It's fun, but it's also, you know, but it's like interesting, like when you do, you know, I'm thinking about Paige earlier was saying about having like 2 hours of commute time back, you know, and like I have so much more time. I have so much more like, not empty time, but I have so much more time in my day. And it's interesting to see like what becomes a priority and like what my natural baseline actually is without those structured things. Like I'm now realizing my cat's routine. Like
she's just like, my cat just sleeps. She's sleeping right now. Unless the printer's on. I'm like, oh, okay. That's what I thought. Does with your new printer, you should scan pages from Chani's book and like,
oh my gosh,
your Aquarius stuff.
Is RCSGD already doing an astrology reading club? Like learn your chart reading club?
That needs to happen.
I'm down to cry with y'all.
I'm like,
hello, Ash. Oh my God!
Oh
yes,
God.
don't care. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. They really don't. Cats are wild.
Tried to fight my computer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're like, I did not sign up for Zoom University, so.
That's funny. Ash and Jordan, do y'all have ideas for like zine stuff? Oh my God, hello, homie. Oh my gosh.
That was so funny.
That's hilarious, Jordan. That sounds like maybe there's a page on your cat coming up.
One of my friends was telling me today that they are going to make a series of mini zines that's like their dog's diary. I'm like, yeah, you got time on your hands, girl. But also, idea. I'm like,
Captain's log. I'm actually going to look at Canva now too. That's some good stuff.
The first zine page I'm working on is on just transition, which means doing things in a way that would reduce climate change and increase equality.
Word up.
So that's the first one I would do. And it's for a different zine, but I'll see if I can maybe use the concept for one that could be in yours too.
Word up. That's awesome. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the other zine you're working on a UCSB?
I was going to do it on paper, but I think maybe I should try Canva.
Word.
I couldn't hear you, Paige. I can...
Oh, no worries. I was just asking if the other zine that you were working on was another UCSB zine. Because there's another one I know that's been collecting pages that's like environmental focused.
Word. That's awesome.
Yeah. Nice.
That's super cool.
Yeah, EcoVista's doing good. We have a lot of people and people working on different things with food gardens, increasing compost projects, harassing the Ivy businesses to do more composting. We're going to try to get some of us in the Rec and Park District Board.
Oh, cool.
That's super rad.
And some people working on art.
Nice.
So, I don't know. I don't know if zines are that distributable. I think making a zine is really cool, but I think a way to get it to reach more people is just to put it into an Instagram thing. And with Instagram, you can put more than one thing now, and people swipe through, and I think that's probably the best way to get more people to read it. So I think EcoVista is going to do that with ours.
Very cool.
Are you going to do it with yours? Put it on Instagram like that?
So one of the things, yeah, go ahead, Paige.
In the submission form, when you upload your zine page, there is an option to have like your individual page like featured on I guess the library and or RCSGD's Instagram as well. Yeah, because you're right. I think especially for folks that aren't aware of zines or don't have other friends that are making physical zines that are handing it to them, then yeah, like learning about this is like a process or a way of creating like community with art. Instagram for sure is a place that I see a lot of that kind of like growth and conversation happening.
Yeah, and I know that there's like a primarily Instagram-based Quaranzine project that's like international in scope. So actually, if you go and search on that hashtag, you'll probably find a lot of zine pages that are posted either individually or like in that sort of swipey format. Yeah. And actually, that's a really good point because Canva's got a template for that. They got like a pre-sized little template for Instagram. So that maybe another vote for Canva.
Oh yeah, it is a hashtag on Instagram. Oh, there's so many. They're so cute.
There's so many. Yeah.
I'll look at this.
So these pages will be part of that.
Mm-hmm. Do y'all have any other questions about kind of what this process looks like? Like we said, we'll be meeting again on May 18th, so you can also come. We encourage you to please come on that day as well. Maybe if you're spending just a couple weeks like thinking about what you might want to make or kind of just gathering supplies or something. Yeah, I find that just talking to other people too about like what I have or what I want to do, that like just conversation and encouragement too, and just making art is really special.
Yes, it sucks that we can't be in person, but we are doing the best we can with what we got. And I'm glad that we're still able to even continue these at all.
Word.
Word up. I forget that we have the little like thumbs up and clap
Oh, yeah.
in Zoom. I'm still learning things about Zoom every time I use it, honestly. Okay. So Paige and I don't really have any like more presentation type stuff, but we're happy to like we're gonna like keep hanging out until 7 and see, do folks have ideas or like thoughts you want to talk out, or you can also just like jump into one of these tools and then flag Paige down when you have a question about Canvas. Or Adrian, I'm gonna put both of you up.
I think that's probably good for our recording, right?
Yeah, actually, that's a great point. I'm gonna